What comes to mind when you think of Youngstown? Many people may say they think of the Bruce Springsteen song, The Closing of the Steel Mills, or perhaps the Mafia. Recently, the word Youngstown brings many images of people's minds. Images of poverty and former glory, with abandoned buildings barring the skyline at every corner. People avoiding the decaying areas and trying to make the best of what's left. This is blight, and for the people of Youngstown, it permeates every level of their existence. In more technical terms, urban blight is defined as the process by which a previously functioning city or part of a city falls in disrepair and decrepitude. In order to understand this problem further, we will need to define more terms. These terms being brownfields, which the EPA defines as real property, the expansion, redevelopment, or reuse of which may be complicated by the presence or potential presence of a hazardous substance, pollutant, or contaminant. And another term would be real property, which is defined as fixed property, principally land and buildings. Another term is Community Development Corporation, which is a not-for-profit organization incorporated to provide programs, offer services, and engage in other activities that promote and support community development. And finally, right-sizing, which is the process of converting something to an appropriate size. These terms relate to Youngstown in that brownfields, many of the properties that people need to tear down have to be checked for asbestos before they can be torn down, which is costly and inconvenient. Additionally, Youngstown isn't making proper use of community development corporations yet, and one of the plans for Youngstown involved right-sizing it, which would involve basically downsizing it so that it would be able to support itself with the tax dollars it still has because the population has decreased. Many strategies can be employed in Youngstown to further revitalize, reduce the level of blight and poverty, and stem the loss of its population. These strategies include right-sizing, modifying the way taxes are spent, and coordinating efforts between different entities in Youngstown. Through our combined research, our group has found definitive information on blight and potential solutions that have been proposed. I am a lifelong resident of Youngstown, and so any solution we implement will have a pretty significant personal effect on my life. We live in Youngstown, and some of us walk by abandoned buildings every day, wondering how the buildings came to be so. In our everyday lives, we also see homeless people, and the sheer quantity of these people is a direct representation of how the extent of blight and poverty has grown. People need to be taken care of, along with community property in the Youngstown area. We coordinated this project over email, Blackboard, Uvu, calls, and texts. Through our research, our group has gathered information about the extent of the problem where it occurs, what the problems are, the causes of these problems, the underlying causes of those causes, criteria for an acceptable solution, and limitations of these solutions. During our research, we uncovered ideas for many different solutions. We analyzed these possibilities and came up with the best solutions we could think of. We then analyzed steps to make these solutions successful, and the difficulties and constraints of these steps and how to overcome them. This problem is very important to the quality of life in the city of Youngstown, and how the city deals with it could be significant to the health of other cities across the country. Revitalizing Youngstown will improve the quality of life within the Mahoning Valley, and it will also create safer and cleaner neighborhoods for families within the valley, increase business interest in Youngstown, improve property values, and alleviate poverty. The problems of urban decay and poverty affect every aspect of life in Youngstown, and no resident is safe from its effects. The problem will only get worse if we do not put in more efforts to address it. As we move into the next few sections, we will analyze the problems in Youngstown, identify the underlying causes, and discuss how to address them. Thank you.